Thanks everybody for joining the call live or watching the replay. My name is Jack and I'm happy to do a special training because it's Easter and we wanted to give you something special. So Tammy's coming in a half hour and she has some really great content how to approach local business. Everybody needs this. So, but first, let me kick this off. We did a launch last week about Mobile Wizard Jack and Mobile Wizard Pro, and I would like to know if you are for the first time on this training, yes or no. So I get a little bit of sense where we are. So Dasha is yes, Gary of course no, Eric is yes, Linda is yes, Steve is yes, Mark is yes. So that looks like we got a fair amount of first time. So you probably don't know me, and I haven't introduced me well, I think. So I'm a local internet marketer. I serve my own clients. I actually do a lot of Google AdWords, which I like the most. And all what I do for my own clients, I create tools. I share those tools and trainings with you guys. So what you just see, for me, most time I have use it in my own business, or I learn it from my own business, or I learn those things from, you know, the connections which you build up and you test it out too. So I welcome everybody if you for the first time. The Facebook group, if you haven't been in the Facebook group, so hang out there. It's amazing how much interaction you guys every day have. So that's very good. The thing what I see when you're new is how to install the WordPress theme for the first time. Because you probably are not used to that process, or your hoster is acting up or something else. A small thing can just block you to get a new website created. So I wanted to show you quickly how you do it so you're not struggling with that. So let me go to log in the cPanel and I'm going to search for WordPress. Okay, and probably you do the same, or you can do the same, and then you just give it on your domain name which you want to install it. You can either use your main domain name, then you select here and you don't fill anything here, but because I don't want to override my main domain name, this is for demo, so let me do this demo Jack. Okay, I can give the database another name, Jack Demo, and then I give the blog name Demo Jack a name, local Demo Jack, username, I keep this, you want to make it very special for you, but because I have to remember now, I do admin, and then I install it. Okay, so now a default WordPress theme get installed on a subdomain in a subfolder of the main domain, because I entered DemoJack as, you see, DemoJack as a subfolder. So I click on this. And then you see there's this ugly URL. So when I click on one more time log in, then that ugly URL is cleaned up. And we had admin and admin as username and password. Everybody following so far? Enter yes or no. With this step, oh sorry, I have set up a default WordPress site.
Okay, there's nothing magic, okay? This is basic WordPress stuff. But if you do it for the first time, it's can all be struggling. So the next step, you want to upload a plugin, not a theme. So that is the first most mistake people make. So add a new plugin, upload a plugin, and now you browse it from your folder. So when you go to the membership site, you see step 1, download ThemeJack installer plugin. So you need to download it to your local computer and upload it from there. Everybody get this? Download ThemeJack installer plugin. It's confusing. We install a theme, but before we install a theme, we first download and upload the plugin. So let me try to locate it on my computer. That's not always very easy. And then installer. And then I go to the ThemeJack installer plugin. I open it and install it now. And then activate the plugin. So now you have activated the plugin and you see here a new tab, ThemeJack installer. You click on it. Now you select which version you have. Most of you guys have the Enterprise, which is also part of the Mobile Wizard Pro, where the mobile marketing agency theme is. You click on submit. And then the theme is installed. So you now click on ThemeJack. You click on ThemeJack. And you need to enter the license. And I don't know, web demo, I think that is a license, what works. Okay, so if it doesn't work, you see a buy button. So I don't know which license works at the moment. That is a little bit strange because I haven't prepared that. So you have to enter the license email. Let me see if I can. Anybody? They probably don't do that. Let's see if you. Okay, now this works. So you go to ThemeJack, and then settings, and then if you want to install the mobile marketing agency. So let me refresh the stream first. You know, this just the theme, no content here. So you select, for example, the mobile marketing theme. If you have bought the mobile marketing agency, Mobile Wizard Pro version, and you click on import theme. Okay. And now you refresh this, and wow, a complete website has been installed. And we are now 9 minutes past 8. It doesn't take you 10 minutes to do everything from A to Z, and you can still drink something in between. You guys see this? So tell me if you have a question about this step. It doesn't need to be that difficult. Karen can do it in 7 minutes. So once you know which steps to do, it doesn't take that, it's not that hard. So the Mobile Wizard team, the mobile marketing agency used the Enterprise, correct?
Now, once you have this, you can make all kind of changes. Another logo, other text, you know. Everything is in the back end. So you go back to Team Jack, and you just follow those menus, and you will find it out. Okay, so Isabel said, I had to email support because my email was successfully accepted, but when I went to settings and choose the team, it told me my email was invalid, but now it works fine. I did a further 2 team uploads. I love it. So now you guys know in couple of minutes how you can install the mobile marketing agency team. So every time when you install a new website you set up a default WordPress theme. You upload the plugin. You select your version. Most of you guys have the Enterprise. So select the Enterprise if you bought Mobile Wizard Pro. You enter the license, which is either your PayPal email address or your Warrior Forum account email address. Then you go to Settings and you select the theme niche you want. So that's all. And then you are for 90% done. You can customize it a little bit, but your customer is already blown away. Yes, I would do some SEO. Yoast is a very good plugin, which I recommend. And actually in the members area, if you really want to optimize for SEO, I think I did I? Somewhere I did an SEO report. But for the Yoast is a good plugin for that. How many subdomains can you do in one website? It all depends on your server capability. So if you have a dedicated server, you can do more than you have a shared server. So for dedicate, I guess you can do 200. For a shared server, maybe 5 or 10. I wouldn't do many because they get overloaded. And subdomains you only want to use for demos, of course. For lead gen or you sell the website to your client, you want to have a dedicated domain. So if you select multi or single instead of enterprise for the mobile, then you have a problem. I think you can select the enterprise. See if, I think you can do with the installer plugin. You need to select first enterprise. So if you have a client, there are a couple of things you can do. The best and easy thing is to install it directly on their domain. If that is not possible, you have to install it on a temporary domain, which can be a demo domain, and then use one of those clone plugins to clone and move them to the dedicated domain, which is a little bit more work. And if you've never done it, you might want to get some help with that. So if we bought mobile agency team, if you don't upload mobile links after trial, but if you put a subdomain name for now for 30 days, can we transfer to the real domain?
so you get 1 credit, so you want to install it on the domain you want to keep it. So any other questions how to install the theme? Don't understand the credit systems. You with the mobile Wizard Pro, you get access to 1 domain and you can install the mobile agency theme on it. But the license on the client side remain enterprise. Yes, there is a how-to section here, how-to videos. It answers all your questions. Okay? Freakers ask questions. So make sure you use it. Also, inside the theme, we have a Freakers ask questions sections. You see that? And you can search on license, for example. You see? And there's a lot of information in that. To answer your question directly, so if you hand over this to your client, you don't want them to see all those settings. You don't want to see that they see this type of menu. What you do is you go to user and create a login for your client. So client login. So I just make something up. Client. Login. Last name. And then the password, you know, let's do client login 001. Client login 00. I don't know what I did. Client login 001. Client login 001. And then you need to have them as admin. Okay? And you want to come up with some stronger passwords. What I wanted to show you, in the ThemeJack installer, you can go to access protection and then you can assign that client login. Do you want them to see ThemeJack backend? Okay, you do not want, so you don't check this. If you do want, you check that box. So let me show what the client sees. So let me log out and 001 and I log in back. You know, if you click on ThemeJack, you don't see settings anymore. You guys see this? You only see Style Wizard, where he can change the settings of the theme. He can change some content, but he cannot see any license email and those kind of things. What you want to do is, when you're done, you want to remove that installer plugin. Okay? So you don't want to keep this. So what you want to do is you go to plugins, deactivate that plugin, and delete that plugin. Okay? And if you go to your own admin, now when you log in, you have access to everything. Everybody get this? So on the client, you want to give him on the domain he wants, but you don't want to give him access to all your settings. If you only bought the Mobile Wizard Pro and not Sales Dynamite Jack, you don't have that problem, because
You only have one credit for one website. But once you start selling website, you need to have access to the Dynamite version, and then you create a second admin, not a subscriber. You create a second admin if you want to give them access, and then you say with the installer plugin you cannot see all those settings. Where do you add them to? So users, okay? In users of the plugin of the website, you can add new admins. So you do this to activate once the site is completed. Yes, you want to remove that installer plugin. You want to remove that installer plugin. You assign, you create a second admin login, and via the installer plugin you assign the rights, what they can see. I have enterprise and it's good for 10 sites per month. Correct. Jack, we are limited to one team for the enterprise. The Mobile Wizard Pro, yeah, you get one team. If you bought the Sales Dynamite Jack, or you have the enterprise, you get 10 sites per month, and you can select any of the 140. So the 10 per month roll over if you don't use them. That is correct. Okay, so if you want not one website but you want 10 per month and you didn't grab Sales Dynamite Jack, you can still do it. When you create demo for a client and want to clone it to the customer side, could you update the site to actual site or have to reinstall everything to stock them? There are some plugins for that, tools for that, but if you are not familiar with that, you might want to ask somebody else. I have one second. You haven't had time to get to the credit total implemented into the system. Correct, that's correct. First, we're going to finish completely white label. That will hopefully done Tuesday. So I hope I can show that Tuesday. Okay, why do you have two acupuncture? You see that demo and you have stock. Stock will say those are with stock images and you need to buy the rights to use those images. Demo, you can use it for your demo purpose and they have a demo stamp on it. Okay, Tammy is on the call. Let me try to get her live.